Hey, whether you're newlywed or you refer to yourself as an old ball and chain, in every marriage, there's always some ups and some downs. On today's video, Cece and I, we're going to share some tips with you to a better marriage. Stay tuned.
Hey, blissful friends, welcome back to another episode of the Blissology podcast. I am your host, Cece, and I'm joined by my husband of 13 years. 14?
Hey everybody, this is Willem, and thank you for joining us today. We're glad to have you with us. If it's your first time, this is a podcast that we do weekly where we talk about
Love, life, relationships, and parenting, and everything else that's happening around the world.
yes, I mean everything that's
Everything
happening
that's
around the world.
happening around the world.
Yes, except politics.
We do talk about that because my
No.
husband is a big fan of politics.
No.
I guess
and no.
I guess not anymore, right? So you no longer
Oh, I still am. We just don't talk about
you
it
no
on the
longer
podcast.
into politics, it seems like, which is good.
Politics is a part of our lives. We live in a system, and it's a political system. I don't talk about it in this podcast. This is not the platform for it, but
Yes. It's good to share our opinions, right? Just because we're sharing our opinion doesn't mean we are taking anyone's side. We're not taking left or right. We're just staying in the middle. Right?
It could be tough to do. I'll tell you,
It's
that
just
could
like
be really,
it's like
really
you
tough
know
to
with
do.
the middleman, with the middle. It will stay in the middle, right? Stay in the middle. So yes, so guys, thank you so much for joining us today. If you're new to our channel, hi, hello, welcome. Glad to have you on board. Before we get into the topic of the day, we like to talk about our blissful moment,
Okay.
which was my husband's birthday last weekend. That was a very, very blissful moment. We had a great time. You know, this man turned 1 year wiser. He's like, you thought I was going to tell your age, huh?
Well, I'm young,
Yes, he is.
right?
Yes, that was our blissful moment. We had a great time. We had our parents over. It was a small gathering. You know, we kind of kept the regulations, the rules.
Well, we had to have enough people where we could maintain social distancing.
Yes.
Let's leave it at that. Yes, we had to kind of dense.
But you know, it
Social
was
distance.
just family. It was
Yes.
just family, no outsiders. You know, it was just, you know, moms, dads, our brothers and sisters, and our, you know, in-laws. My brother-in-law, which is your brother, and my brother, which is his brother-in-law. So
Confusing.
and my nephews and my sister-in-law. So it was really fun. And that's one thing I kind of missed, you know, the gathering where you have friends and family over. Because my parents and I, we very big in having gatherings. So, yeah.
Thank you for the birthday wish. Anybody who wished me a happy birthday, I appreciate it.
Yes, it was fun. We had a lot of, well, we didn't, it wasn't like a party, because my husband kept telling me, listen, I don't want a lot of food. I don't want it to be where a party where you're coming to a party and you eat and eat and eat. I just want it to be something very small where we eat something small and we drink and drink and drink. Although your brother actually brought a vodka and let me tell y'all, your sister-in-law too. I think Eve brought
Yeah, she brought some alcohol.
yeah,
A
and my
barbecue-
dad brought
a
alcohol,
barbecue
and I'm
scented wow.
what's with the alcohol? What's with
Well,
the
that's
drinks?
the best. That's the best gift for a man who's turning younger.
Yes, I agree. The girls had a good time. You know, the music was good. The food was good. I mean, it was small. Again, less than 15 people. But the time we joke around, we watch slide, you know, something that he had put together. It was very interesting to look back where you started and where you are now. And you're just grateful and appreciate life more, right?
Yes.
So yes, it was fun. I had a good time.
She had a good time.
And we all had a good time. And my baby's,
Younger.
Let's leave it that way. He's younger. Yes.
I am.
He's 28. All over 28 again. So, yes. So, now let's get into anything else you want to add into the blissful moment? Did you have a good time?
I had a good time.
Okay.
I had a good time. It was good.
So, you were okay with the way that it turned out?
Yes.
Although you didn't want that.
Absolutely. And I thank you for putting it together.
You're very welcome. Anytime. So now let's get into the topic of the day, y'all. So what we're going to talk about today, baby?
We're going to talk about keys to a better marriage.
Yes. Listen, we're not perfect. We've been in the game for 11 years, going to be next month, but we've been together for over 15 years, right? 2004, 2005. We've been in the game for a while, a decade and plus.
You could say that.
We're not
Hopefully
old.
you don't have someone who's like 70-year-old watching yourself. What are you talking about?
I know,
I've
right?
been married for 60 years. I'm like, okay.
Well, yes, that's true. But we still feel as if we got married yesterday, because I can still remember exactly how it was 11 years ago. And I'm sure my mom...
I don't remember the specifics. I remember a day happened. And things happened.
Specifically.
But man, ask me what happened exactly at 4:01 that day.
I
don't remember.
We were at the hotel getting ready to go to church.
At 4:01?
At 4 o'clock.
Huh?
4:01, 4 o'clock.
She does remember exactly what happened.
Exactly. I remember exactly what happened, guys. Seriously. Marriage is beautiful. It is beautiful. For those of you who are married, you know what I'm talking about. And for those of you who are not married, and you are about to hear from us, trust me, like my husband said in the intro, there's ups and downs. It's not a fairy tale. There's a lot of things that happen. But we want to share with you our experiences, being married for a decade and plus. So
that little bit of time
to some people, to my parents maybe, because they just celebrated their 40 years anniversary 2 weeks ago. I'm sure your mom might be in the same range too, right? Because they're the same age. So yeah, so let's get right into the first thing that we want to share with you guys is the number one thing I know a lot of us may have a hard time with is...
I don't know.
Didn't I communicate this with you earlier? Communication, guys. Communication. Listen. Communication is the key to everything in life. Right, babe?
But especially in a relationship, misunderstanding can cause major issues.
Oh, my God, yes.
Yes, I agree with you. Communication is important. Any relationship, you need to be able to communicate with your partner.
Yes. Yes.
Not screaming at each other whenever things happen. I'm talking about sit down and talk to each other. Mm-hmm. Share ideas. Understand where the other person is coming from.
Yes.
Not tell the other person. Some people like to tell others. No, I'm not talking about you, but...
Okay. You better communicate with me. I thought you were talking about me because I was going to say, oh, what are you trying to say? I used an example earlier. I can't remember what it was. Do you remember? It was something about the car when it comes to communication.
Communication.
I want to see if you were paying attention.
See, I'm being tested. No, I think what you had said was communication to a marriage is like fuel to an engine. Mm-hmm. I think you used the word gas to an engine. And it's what keeps the marriage going, just like the fuel is what keeps your car going. Now, I know it's an analogy, of course, as talking to someone like myself who know a little bit about cars. It takes more than just the fuel to keep it going, but the fuel is important. You can have the most powerful engine here. If there's no fuel, it's not going anywhere.
True.
So I understand it's important to have that. Face it, we're people. We're different personality, different way of thinking.
Yeah.
Sometimes different backgrounds. Sometimes different language.
Yes.
So being able to communicate with each other, to understand each other, to share ideas, to support each other, that's important.
Yes, it is important.
And one thing that I think that's just like that, even if it's a hard conversation, have that conversation.
Yes.
I know there's people who, man, this is a conversation that I just try to avoid. Now, avoid it. Eventually, it's gonna come up.
Right, exactly.
And when it comes up, it may be too late. So, yes, my spouse may not like this, but we're gonna sit. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get upset, and then we'll make up. And sometimes the makeup is pretty good.
Hey.
But you gotta talk.
Yes, you have to communicate with your partner.
You gotta talk.
I think that's just the number one, not that I think, I know that's the key to a better relationship, you know? Whether if you go into the store, whether if you're doing something, if you're buying something, you're not asking him, maybe, can I buy this item or can I do this? I mean, just letting them know, or you're letting her know, hey, honey, I'm going to the store to grab this and this. You communicate with that person, right? You letting him know or you letting her know that's what you're doing. And I think sometimes people are afraid to let their spouse know what they're doing because that's going to
cause an argument.
And a lot of people, there's a lot of guys out there who don't like to argue, but you have to.
Well, you can argue, but
right. Go ahead.
What's important, you can't let anger get part of it, because sometimes people let themselves get so heated that they do things that they didn't intend to do. Control yourself. Yeah. But still have disagreement.
Yes.
I would refrain from using the word argument. I'd say you can have a disagreement.
People argue. We're human beings.
Well, if you're not disagreeing, someone's lying to someone.
Well, yes.
Right? Because the crap you do, I'm like, shoot.
Right.
And this crap I do.
There's a lot of stuff that we have to own it. You got to own the fact that you did something and you just take the ownership of what you did. And it's okay for you to say, you know what, babe, I'm sorry for what I did, or it was wrong, I didn't mean to do it. And apologize is not that bad either. For you to just apologize for that you didn't communicate this with you, or you didn't let you know. So sometimes I feel like men, it's kind of hard for guys to apologize for something that they did, or because of their ego gets in the way.
Sometimes I feel like women, it's kind of hard for them to apologize for things that they did because of their pride.
Whatever. No.
It's something that you grow into, right? All of us have to make a commitment when we go into any relationship.
Yes.
Now, I know our commitment is we in this for life, and whatever it takes, we're gonna work through it. Which means nothing can we can have a disagreement right now, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna hate your guts. No, I don't.
Which happens all the time.
We had a disagreement and we talked about it. We discussed it. We get to a point where maybe we made some compromise. That happens, and then we move forward.
Yes.
Yeah. Or sometimes it's, I believe in this notion that says it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. So if you're going to do something, do it and then ask for forgiveness later.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't listen to what he just said, okay? Because you don't want to get yourself in trouble. So I don't know where he was going with this, but yes, don't listen to it.
Don't listen to me. But it's
what he just said now.
It's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission?
Yes, because I'm already thinking of something bad.
No, there are things that you may want to do if you bring it forth, and most likely the other person is going to say no. But if you get it,
don't do it.
And then after you say, man, I am sorry.
And that sorry
I didn't mean to get it, but I've already gotten it, so I have no choice. I have to keep it.
You had a choice. You're going to return it. You have a choice. But yes, communication is the key to a better life, a better marriage, for sure.
Yeah, you understand each other better.
A better relationship. So, absolutely. So, yes, number one, communication. Okay, guys, just remember, write it down and take notes. So, number two, what we want to say is my husband and I, we're very spiritual. I do believe there's a saying that says a family that prays together stays together, right? Like you pray with your spouse, whatever that you're going through, whether if it's good or bad, you communicate spiritually and bring faith into your life. So you got to find a time to pray together. Like one thing my husband and I would do before we go to bed, we'll get the girls and we'll pray together and we'll kiss the girls goodnight. And then when we go to our bed, we'll do the same thing. that's so important in in any relationship, I would say, not just marriage, but when you marry someone, it's just that's why I like the fact that I knew him at the church, and I knew the fact that he was a Christian man, and he was really spiritual and still is. So, are you still?
I'm gonna have to chat.
So yes, don't
Am
you
I
agree,
still?
babe, that Bible moment, like spiritual moment, is very important in a marriage life, right?
Well, yes, prayer is therapy. In a way, when you have the same faith, it makes it easier because you could do that together,
Right.
and believe in a higher power is important because
Absolutely.
having beliefs, having hopes, and faith in something, it does help. And when you
Right.
do it together, it's even better. Prayer makes you humble. You understand you don't know it all, you don't have it all,
Right.
and you're constantly looking for ways to get better. And part of our prayers involve asking God to help us be better human beings every day.
Amen.
And that's one thing we could argue right now. We're gonna pray together.
We're gonna pray together. You're
We ask for
right.
forgiveness, and then we go to bed in peace.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes, and we make it like every year we make sure that we don't go to sleep mad at each other. Like whatever it is, whether if I piss him off or if he pissed me off, we make sure that we squash it and talk about it, and not go to bed feeling that, man, I'm still hurt or I'm still upset. I still, I may bring it up later on, and but
Some
still,
people never forget stuff.
listen, I may bring, I do sometimes. We pray, we squash and then we move on. But then later on, I'm like, baby, no,
She tabled it for the next day.
I have feelings, okay? But I make sure that I don't go to bed with a grudge in my heart, like angry at him and upset. But it takes time for you to do that too.
Yeah, it's a skill you have to develop.
Right, it takes time, because I remember I used to go to bed upset. I used to go to bed where if my husband really got under my skin,
Sometimes
or
it's
said,
nothing.
or if he said something to me the wrong way, because listen, he's not that. Don't be fooled by all this, okay? When this man is yelling or upset,
I don't yell.
when he raises his voice,
I don't raise my
yes,
voice.
you do. But what I'm saying is, was some time. There was back then. He doesn't do that anymore. Because we talked about it. We communicate about it, right? We talk. And that's the thing. You have to let your spouse know how you feel about certain things. You have to let him know, or let her know. Hey, babe, I don't like how you talk to me about this, And I'm sure your wife or your husband will, I'm sure they'll understand that it's not coming, at a wrong direction,
Like
right?
no ill intent behind it.
Right. That's why you got to communicate with your spouse. You got to talk about it. Let him know how you feel about anything. So yes, definitely. Right?
I agree.
So we're going to go into the third one, guys, which is know your partner's love language. Okay?
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Listen, there's a website. I don't remember what it's called. I believe it's 5 language something. And I took a quiz. All right? I wanted to know what my love languages are. I wanted to know what they are, what they said about me, and then I find out. I was like, okay, this is really match me like to the T.
And she forced me to do the same thing too.
I didn't force you. I was like, I didn't have a gun in my hand and say,
She was
"Yo,
like,
take this.
You either take that test or else. So I had no choice.
Oh, else I'm not slipping here.
But it's interesting, as obviously I didn't know there was such a thing called love language, but when we took that
There's
quiz,
several books
it
online.
lists different characteristics or different behaviors that
Yes.
someone who's this would do. Like I think I'm the type that's not big in showing affection in public.
Right.
Right? I don't recall it. That was a while ago. I took that
Yes.
stuff.
Yes. But you're right. Yes.
But it helps her understand, like, I don't do that hand holding thing that people do.
Anymore.
But she loves it.
Cause
She's the type- she's
Cause
the-
you grown now.
she's the type of person who loves the hand holding. So me knowing that she loves it, and so if some days that she pulls my hand and I pulled it, she understands. But I try not to. But it lists little things, and I wish I remember all the things that were listed on my list. I would have shared them with you guys.
I'll find
and
it
she'll
for you
find
later.
the website and possibly put it on the description.
Yes, I will.
Maybe for you guys. But it's understand.
Interesting. Yes.
But it goes down to understand what's important to your partner,
Right.
What ticked them off and what they'll like. Like she likes surprises, and I know that, and I do my best to surprise her with little things. She likes affection. Although I'm told that I'm not the most affectionate person, but I do my best to display some affection. I could be dry when it comes to feelings.
Very dry.
I could be dry, and that's just how I am.
Very, very
People
dry.
gets emotional and gets excited.
Like a dry land.
I could be very flat when it comes to emotions, and it doesn't bother me.
Like a flat rate.
She's the type, she gets excited. She shows all emotions. I don't display emotions. So knowing this is one of the things that...
It's funny you mentioned that because on Saturday on your birthday, I was like, babe, how was the party? It was good. And I'm like, I'm looking for, it was good. I had a great time.
But that's not me.
You know, I know.
It's not me. I mean, yes, not that I wish I was. I'm just how I am. But it's good that you understand that. It's not because I didn't like the party. It's because I'm not the type that goes wow, 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 wow about things. It's not me. But understand your partner. And yes, there's things that you don't do in public. Understand that about your partner also, and know what's important to them, and find ways to provide that. I leave it at that.
Okay. He's absolutely right. Yes. We'll leave the website for you guys below, and then you can check it out, do the quiz.
Is it color coded? No.
No, I don't think it is.
That was something else you had me do that was color coded.
I don't remember exactly either, but I remember the questions, and we were somewhat similar, you know, in terms of would you rather go spend money at a fancy restaurant or go by the beach? And I think we both selected like the very similar
things.
Yes.
It's because we've been doing a lot of things together.
True.
And we kind of grew to like the same type of thing.
Yeah, maybe not. But but yes, take the quiz with your spouse and see where you guys stand. And maybe you might find out that, hey, my woman likes to go to a fancy place instead of taking her to McDonald's or Burger King or Chick-fil-A. So you never know. All right, guys, I'll leave that out. So the next one I want to share with you guys is...
Be romantic to your partner. What? Yeah, be romantic. Do romantic stuff. I wouldn't know what those things are because I'm told I'm not like the most romantic guy. Although I think I look romantic, but...
No, let me say this. You know, on a scale, let's say a 1 through 10, I said you are an 8.
Oh, then I'm romantic.
I never say you're not a romantic guy. You don't have those Italians when you see a movie to like buy flowers.
Movies, don't ever trust what you see in movies. See, that's the thing with these movies. They put the wrong idea in people's heads.
Well, yeah, they do. But that's not what I meant. I was just kidding about that. Here's what I mean about romantic. Like you said earlier, I like when you surprise me with things. Nothing expensive, just the thought that goes into, wow, you went out of your way to bring home a card, thank you for helping me out, or just a card or flowers, roses, or whatever it is. That's what really makes me feel like, wow, he put the thought into the fact that he went out of his way to buy the flowers. Or what are you gonna say? I can see it. I can smell it coming from you.
No,
what do you have?
I have no comments.
So that's what I mean. Until this day, my dad still buy my mom stuff, like still surprise her with stuff. And I know you're gonna say I always compare you with my dad. Yes, I know you're gonna say that because it's true. I do compare you with my dad. I'm like, really? My mom is this age and my dad is this age. I've been married for 40 years and you're still getting this and you can't even do it for me.
And what I say to that is, you didn't marry your dad. You married me. Now, I know I don't think like most kids. Like when I'm getting out of work at the end of the week, flowers is not the first thing that comes into mind to bring home. It's just the fact that I don't think of these things all the time. Now, sometimes I do, but not all the time.
You don't have to do it all the time.
I know,
right?
but I do here when I don't
Tell
remember
me,
to do it.
What woman would like their husband coming home, or they're home with their kids, helping them out with school and do the cooking and the cleaning and the laundry and all of that, and then they come home and surprise them with oh babe, here's a bouquet of flowers, and then you're like, oh, what's the occasion? And they're like, oh, just because, right? Us ladies, listen, we like the just because moment. We like the fact that she thought about us at work. You decided to go ahead and buy us some, like a flowers or a card. It's just nice. It's the gestures that count.
Yes, and the times that I've done it, I could see the impact that it has and how you react to it. So it's important. Absolutely. Now, I know we're talking about buying stuff, but it involves a lot of other things that you can do to show your spouse that you appreciate them, and you do it out of the blue. They don't need to be in occasions for you to do it. It could easily be, we get home and I tell you to just dress nicely and we go hang out somewhere.
You used to do that.
Right? Mm-hmm. Now we have kids. I can't do that as often. We have to plan with the kids. But there's a lot of little things that you can do. And for some of us, if we're running out of ideas, look back at when you were dating, how creative you were in doing things. That could give you some ideas on to go back. Because what I'm realizing, there's a lot of things I used to do when we were dating that I don't do now. Not given that we're different, we're older, we have kids, we have other responsibilities. But a lot of these things don't take a whole lot of effort. So, absolutely. Which means to get them done, I won't need to do a whole lot. I just have to plan it.
Right.
And do it. And that goes both ways. I appreciate when stuff are done for me too. If I happen to get a little massage here out of the blue, I just lay down and enjoy it. Woo! Yes, it's important. And do these things, especially if you know that your spouse likes it, just make it the thing that you do. They won't complain because you do what they like, what they want.
Absolutely. And I think it's just going to make it work for you. And what I mean by make it work for you, you're gonna make it work for you. You're gonna get it, okay? We're gonna get it, which kind of lead us into the next key point to a better marriage is intimacy is so important, right?
I agree.
Intimacy is so important. Keeps everything together. It keeps the marriage alive.
You can say that. It does. I mean, when you made a commitment to spend the rest of your life with someone, the intimate moments are important because that's where you can get really physical. Mm-hmm. Because intimacy involves a lot of physical activities, and
that's why my dad wouldn't let me go on that Orlando cruise.
You weren't married yet, so you couldn't go.
Listen, my parents is so so old school. I was engaged to my husband, okay? At that time, we were engaged. We went to Orlando. But
you were still sleeping at your parents, so you could not go and spend the night out with a boy. We
wanted to go on a cruise or go to Orlando. I don't know which one it was.
Yeah, we're going to the theme park.
And my dad said, you're not staying late. You're not staying over.
You're not sleeping outside.
You're not sleeping outside of the house. So, because he knows what would have happened, right?
Nothing would have happened. I would have slept all night.
Yeah, right. That's why, there's a reason why. And I think it has to do because we are Christian and we very religious person, and we believe that when you before you get married, or there's certain things you're not supposed to do, and then after you get married, and then
there are certain things you're not supposed to do before you get married.
Yeah,
that's how people get in trouble. They do things they're not supposed to do.
Yeah. So and a lot of times in our community or within our parents, we don't really talk much about when it comes to sex. We don't talk about it. We feel uncomfortable. Having a conversation with our parents about that sensitive.
No, parents don't talk to kids about stuff like this. Oh, well, where I come from.
Right. But I think sometimes my dad, he would talk, or my parents would talk about, certain things, not like, graphically, I would say, in a way that, but they would give you tips. And I think, even the priest, when you get married, God said you have to go and multiply, but then it's hard for us to talk about it, and it's hard for us to, confront our spouse when it comes to it's not working in the bedroom, or things are not, we need to do it on a regular basis.
And
It's not happening.
this is where that communication really comes into play. Mm-hmm. If it's not happening right, if it was not satisfying,
let him know,
or let her know, both ways. Or if there's a few tweaks you want to make, talk about it.
Let him know.
Let her know. but it's important. Sometimes we don't give that intimate part of our relationship, well, people in general. Sometimes they don't give that intimate part as much importance as they should. Mm-hmm. But it's important. Is the physical the physical need has to be satisfied.
It's not a boom boom ma'am. No, it's not.
It's important because that allows you to get even closer to your spouse.
Absolutely.
To your partner. Helps you understand what pleased them and what will make them fly. Those things are important. and yes, it's not a conversation that many of us while we were growing up, we were accustomed to hearing or even had with our parents or the people that are responsible for us. So a lot of this we've learned as we got matured, but it's something it's a key.
Absolutely.
To any relationship, well, to a marital relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, it wouldn't work for a business relationship. No.
So you can't say any relationship. Well, although it does work somehow, somewhere.
You cannot mix business with pleasure. It'll blow up in your face.
Yes, it will. So y'all better stop.
And I am not speaking from experience.
No, he's not, and he better. I hope not.
Yeah, I wouldn't be alive. That's a guarantee.
Yeah,
my parents will kill me.
My dad would kill you first. Let's just put it that way. So guys, listen. I understand sometimes, you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. You don't want to hurt your spouse's feelings. Like if you need more time, or if it needs more cayenne pepper, like my husband would say, cayenne pepper, a little bit of ground pepper.
Or if you need Viagra, that's fine. I mean, whatever you need, whatever you need to make your relationship work. And if it involves the intimacy, whatever that needs to happen is not happening, then get help.
Exactly.
That's one thing that's tough for people to do, is that if something's not happening with them, they tend to just kind of hold it in, hoping that it'll fix itself. And sometimes it's psychological. You got to speak with someone to fix you. Or sometimes it's physical. You got to see a doctor. Maybe you need prescriptions.
Right.
But don't sit on it and hoping that it'll fix itself.
It's not going to happen.
Or if you're fatigued, get tons of rest and you'll be better.
Work out. Get
in shape.
Yeah, my husband was telling me one thing that really helps also is getting in shape. So if you're one of those that...
Get in shape.
Work out.
If you're kind of flabby and...
Yeah, like my husband, I tell him all the time, you got to work out. That's how you get your energy back, So yes, it may be a sensitive topic to discuss with your spouse, but he's
trying to
flexing.
flex. I can't flex.
I see that. You need to work out. So when you work out, you last longer. That's what they say.
Well, if you're in good physical shape, because when you're in shape, it's not just the appearance of the body. A lot of things function a lot better when you're in shape. So be in shape. Your heart pumps more blood to places.
Be in shape, babe. You got to start working out next month.
Yes.
So absolutely. I think intimacy is so important. It is, just like you said, just as important as communication, right? You need to communicate that, hey, babe. And like, I don't know if you mentioned this earlier, but it's the same way when you're not having that moment with your spouse, you tend to kind of like...
Well, you become distant.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's
It's so true. Like you start losing feelings for that person, and before you know it,
you lose the spark.
the spark is like out the
spark.
door, and you don't want to do that.
Spark is dead.
Ladies, come on, and you call out your guys. You call out your guys, babe. Ladies, do what you gotta do to spice it up and
Guys,
keep it alive.
do what you gotta do to
and
spice it up.
Make sure you're so messy. Make sure you get that lingerie, get that dress, get whatever that is that you need to bring that spark.
Learn
that
where
you
there's a
had.
Victoria's Secret and go get something.
Go on Amazon, girl.
Hope Amazon's paying you to do that.
I hope so too, because I've been shopping there all day, every day. My husband's tired of me shopping at Amazon. But I would say go ahead and, bring that spark back. Okay? It may be sensitive to talk to your spouse, to your husband or your wife, but
It's a conversation that you must have.
get it done. Because it's going to pleases you and it's going to be, vice versa. And especially it's the new year. You want to make sure you start the new year with a good feeling, right? You start the new year, everyone's having a good time.
Everyone's having a good time. When you're happy, you're more successful.
My mom would have said, everyone's having a good time.
Everyone's having a good time. But good time is to be had. Because when you have a good time, overall you are happier. When you're happier, overall you do more things.
Yes, that's
when
true.
you do more things, you become more successful. Mm-hmm. As opposed to when you're grumpy, you tend not to do stuff. You become lazy.
Yes.
And
when
you
you're
become
lazy,
a bum.
You don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Right? And poor your wife is like suffering. And let's not do that. You want to make sure we keep that marriage strong. You want to make sure that you get that flow going. Okay? So which going to lead us to the next key point, which is appreciate each other. Celebrate the small wins and the good wins and the good moments, the bad moments. Because to me, I feel like when you appreciate your spouse, because I tell my husband all the time, I make sure that I don't do it in a way for him to feel like, man, my wife just tell me that too much. No, I say it to my husband in a way that, hey, babe, I appreciate you working so hard for your family. Or I appreciate you doing this for us. Or I appreciate you working on better yourself. Or it makes the person feel like, although my husband may not see the needs of me saying that to him, but to me, it makes me feel good as a wife, letting my husband know that I appreciate what he does for us.
It's good to acknowledge things that are done in the family, in the household.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter if it's big or small. Acknowledge it.
Yes.
Compliment goes a long way. When someone's doing something good, and you let them know, I saw what you did. I like it. Thank you.
Like this morning, you came in the kitchen. You like.
Yeah,
right.
Had a good breakfast this morning.
Right.
Thank you. So, but yes, whatever it's big, whatever it's small, find moments, find things, because we all do things throughout the day, throughout the weeks, throughout the months.
Yeah, especially when you have kids.
And if we don't pay attention to them, we will not notice that these things are being done. So open our eyes and encourage our spouse.
Yes.
When they're doing things, acknowledge that they're doing something, because you know what? That keeps them doing more. And we can all use more.
Amen to that. Let the church say amen. Yes, absolutely. I definitely agree with you, babe. I don't think I need to add anything on that note. So I think, to wrap it up, one thing I got to say is that marriage is hard. There's ups and downs. There's good and bad moments. There's moments where you're laughing, you laugh your butt off, and there's moment where you're like, I can't stand him. Why does he have to do that? Why is he such a bad listener? Why is it this? Why is it that? Or vice versa, at the end of the day, you gotta make sure that you have fun together, right? Do things together and have fun. Learn to live life, learn to appreciate life, learn to appreciate your husband. There's a reason why you married this man or this woman, because you saw something, God, put that person in front of you, but you got to make sure that you do what you want to do to have a better life. Work on the communication part. If you feel like you're having a hard time communicate with your spouse, it's good to learn to have a better, what's the word am I looking for?
Way of addressing each other.
Right. Thank you. See how we finish each other's sentences?
I got skills.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You do. So appreciate, communicate, and spice it up. Do things together. Have fun. Include your kids and your family, whoever is part of your life. So just to make sure that you built that memory, you built that life together, because it's not a fairy tale. Marriage is not a fairy tale. There's going to be a moment where you want to give up. That never happened to us, God forbid. But it's going to be a moment where you're like, man, I'm having the most beautiful time of my life. You will have both moments, okay? And I'm sure those of you who are married know what I'm talking about. You would have those type of moments. So appreciate life. Appreciate your husband, your wife, who's in your life, your kids, and do things right. Make it right. Make it happen.
I agree. All that she said. So follow it, or follow all of them. That will make things easier. Now, easy not in the sense that it's going to be a walk in the park, like she said. We just like anything else, there's difficulties in life. But if you go into this and you find ways to understand your spouse, spend lots of time together, learn your pet peeves, what throws you off. It ain't nothing but a thing. I heard that from a movie, and it's like the silliest thing. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us today. If it's your first time joining us today, please remember to subscribe. Leave us some comments. I mean, we want to hear from you guys. Obviously, if there's anything you want to share with us or any topics you want us to cover, leave it in the comments. Again, subscribe, because I want to make sure that, as we put out these videos, that you guys get notified. And don't forget to click on the notification bell. That's what's going to cause you to get notified. And we appreciate having all of you guys. Now, check us out, obviously, on YouTube. This is where you're watching us right now. We do have a link on Facebook where you can reach us also. We also on SoundCloud, iTunes, and TuneIn. You can listen to us on there. So we make sure that we have enough channels available for you guys to get us and get to listen to us. So thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you next Saturday. Yes. Peace.
Bye.